Hi, and welcome to Tasty Tuesday, brought to you by Transition Nutrition and Fitness Coaching. I'm Angie, and I'm here every Tuesday to bring you a new and delicious whole food plant-based recipe that you can incorporate into your family's weekly menu. This fall, we're focusing on soups and stews that you can create ahead of time and warm up for dinner, and also quick grab-and-go snacks that you can toss into your kid's lunchbox or grab yourself on your way to work as a quick toss-in that you can have that's nutritious and good for you. So let's get started. We're going to start today's nut butter granola bar by preparing an 8x8 pan and lining it with a piece of parchment paper. You want the edges to extend over your pan because we're going to use those like handles later in order to remove the granola bars and set them aside to cool right before we cut them. So make sure your paper overgoes your edge by about a ½ inch or so. We also want to preset our oven to 350 degrees. Now I will mention some of you have asked because my oven says 400. My oven cannot be fixed for some reason, and so it's 50 degrees off. So although the recipe is at 350, you will see my oven set at 400 to make up the difference in the discriminating temperature. So this recipe is very simple. We're going to start over on the stove and set it on low heat. We're only going to use this to get the nut butters and the maple syrup to combine so that they're nice and smooth before we put them with our oats. So I have 1/4 cup of no sugar added creamy peanut butter. Now you could also use crunchy, but that would change the texture of your granola bars just a tiny bit. And then I have a nut butter that is one of my new favorites. It's called mixed nut butter with seeds, and it's got almonds, cashews, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, and flax seeds built in. And to me, this has got some of the best ingredients in it. It has no added sugar. I do get it at Costco. I don't know if you can find it where you live if you have a Costco, but I really do love the flavor that it has. So I'm also putting in 1/4 cup of the mixed nut butter with seeds. Now, if you can't find it, you could use any other nut butter that you choose. You can also use just peanut butter, but I found that made it really, really sweet, and I found the peanut butter flavor to be a bit overpowering, so I liked the combination that this provides. This is 1/8 cup of molasses, and this is regular molasses, not unsulfured, so regular molasses, and 1/4 cup of maple syrup. We're going to let those first 4 ingredients, we're going to whisk them together just until they're smooth and creamy. You don't need to boil it or overheat it or anything. You just really want them to get smoothed out and blended together. Then we're going to turn off our heat, let it cool for just a second, and we're going to whisk in a whole teaspoon of vanilla and a ½ teaspoon of cinnamon. Finally, we are going to stir in our 2 cups of rolled oats. And we're going to stir that just until the oats are all combined. You can see it's a rather dry mixture. Now we're going to take it over and put it in our 8x8 pan and press it down. So now we're going to take our mixture and press it into our 8x8 pan. Make sure you get all of that goodness. This is very sticky, and I use 2 spatulas to kind of help me press it down. And you want to press it down very, very flat, all the way to all the edges and all the corners of your pan. I have Pampered Chef spatula that is really good. It doesn't stick to it, and I'll show you when I'm finished what it looks like. But you just want to press that flat all the way down into the corners and all the way up against the edges of your 8x8 pan. These are going to cook in the oven for about 18 minutes, but you really want to watch them around the 15-minute mark and make sure that once the edges start to turn a golden brown, you take them out of the oven because they can burn very quickly. So that's what it looks like when you have them all pressed down. And we're going to put them in the oven for, okay, our granola bars came out of the oven and I've cooled them now for about 5 minutes. I'm going to use the handles of my parchment paper and lift them to my cutting board. Peel back the parchment paper, and then while they're still warm, I'm going to cut them into 8 bars. You're simply going to take, and you don't want to use a sawing action, you want to press down with your knife and then cut half, half, and half so that you get 8 bars. I'm going to set these over on the cooling rack to cool, and we'll come right back and get them plated. So here we have our nut butter granola bars, plated and ready to eat. They don't last long in my house. They go in about a day. Hopefully you'll enjoy this as much as my family does. If you'd like to see more of these videos, you can find videos here and here. And please don't forget to subscribe here. It really means the most to us to have those extra likes, those thumbs up, and that helps us get more views. And until next time, remember, plants are the best medicine.